Hello and welcome to the Eclipse Evolution podcast. I am your host, Savannah Rose Johnson. It's so good to tune in with you all today. I've really missed doing this podcast. I kind of realized it's been about a month since my last episode. Yikes. But man, what a month it has been. There has been so much going on that I'm, of course, excited to share with you all. And also touching upon a topic that has just been on my mind recently. And it's something that I'm kind of calling the wellness trap. So, the wellness trap, or, oh, I'm sorry if you hear my cat in the background. Stop that. I just got a goldfish, and he's very fascinated with the goldfish. Cuddy, leave him alone. Leave Greg alone. Cuddy. Normally he doesn't get after him this much, but I don't know. Today he must be feeling kind of feisty. But anyways, so yes, that being said, and also I appreciate the feedback on the water sounds. So I've cut them off for this episode, so hopefully you can hear me a little more clearly. The feedback was kind of funny. Some people said it sounded like someone was peeing in the background. I'm like, oh god, no, that's not what I want. So if you ever have feedback, please feel free to let me know. But anyways, just a quick update when it comes down to what's cooking up in my corner. Well, the first thing being that I just got engaged to my partner. Hey, Kelly, behave yourself. Miguel's still kind of crazy, but what else is new? So that's just been a really magical ride, and I've just really wanted to be present during this time period because it's, surprisingly enough, brought up a lot of things having to do with my codependency recovery, having to confront some fears, having to confront some insecurities, self-worth things, even some trauma stuff. So that's been something that I've really been focusing on lately. But with that, I'm really excited to just share this news with you all. And also, this ties directly into kind of this concept of the wellness trap. And something that I see being a mental wellness practitioner is I see this, what I call kind of like the carrot at the end of the stick. So whether it's through marketing or even other life coaches like myself, kind of this trend of stringing people along. And I understand that that's like sometimes a tactic in making sales, especially if people are trying to build rapport and then eventually sell a product or a book or whatever the case may be. Like, I get it. We all have to make a living. But I feel like there's this kind of common thread that's showing up so much in the mental wellness field, having to do with like, okay, once you like get this certification, you're going to be good enough. Or once you like do this new course, or once you like buy my book, or whatever the case may be, it's like these things are being presented as like ultimate silver bullet solutions. And I even see this sometimes in like a psychedelic community as well, where sometimes people are looking to these substances or experiences to like quote fix them, when really the psychedelic and even just these agencies and tools in this field, a lot of times they're more like catalyst for us making our own changes. But I think just this trend right now, this kind of carrot at the end of the stick, like you're always chasing, you're always looking for the next thing, it's not actually rooted in like real wellness. It's just in my opinion. So something that I just wanted to share with you all today is really starting to explore this concept of contentment. Like, what is real contentment? Like, when can we just be and be still and not have to buy the next thing or do another course or just continuing to chase and seek things. It's more about like learning how to pause and receive and finding. So kind of this, not that everything is as clear cut and as that duality in life, but overall, that's something that I'm really trying to explore myself. And through that, I hope we can explore it together. And I really see this a lot in the concept of self love. I was just at a women's group the other day where we were actually really exploring this and talking about this in depth. And it was really comforting to hear that other people were sharing this insight on how self love seems to be this really superficial concept or like a marketing buzzword or just something that's like, oh, just love yourself. And I'm like, okay, great, but like, what does that mean? And because I feel like I like myself. I feel like I like the stuff that I've accomplished. Like, I think I'm physically attractive, whatever. But I was realizing that like this concept of self love was something that was still out of my grasp fully because I was still struggling with insecurity, still struggling with this fear, still struggling with things that were having power over me, and really learning how to have courage to be honest with myself about these things instead of avoiding them or instead of just allowing them to take up space rent free in my brain, like really trying to explore them and take a step back to gain some distance from these thoughts or fears or things that are weighing on me so I can really start to explore like what's going on, not like something wrong or flawed with myself, but just or even making excuses for myself like, well, I've been through this so that's why I xyz. That doesn't really help me. So it's really about taking responsibility and taking accountability over these things, and that's very much a part of like the codependent recovery process, and especially mine. So that's something that I feel like is really tied into this wellness trap of like, oh, once you look this way or feel this way or meditate and do breath work, and I mean those things are all great, but again, it's not about like trying to find this thing to fix us. It's about what's really going on within ourselves and how can we pull in different tools to overall help us and really walk in this loving of ourselves. Because kind of how I relate it to, or how I kind of relate self-love to like something like confidence, is like when we look at that word confidence and kind of break it down, confidence is something that like we have or we have to go looking for, or something that we just magically achieve, or for the younger generations, the Riz. That's what I'm learning. That's a thing, which is like funny to me. But confidence, I mean, when we break that word down, it's like the con stands for with, like, you know, in Spanish, like cafe con leche. And then like the fee in the middle, like is kind of the root word for fidelity, like loyalty, and then dense is full. So when you look at that word confidence, it means like with having full loyalty. So when we have like self confidence, like right now, I can look outside and say with full confidence, like with full loyalty to, whoa, sorry, Kathy, my cat just had a moment. But anyways, so I can look outside the window and with full confidence be like, it is raining. Like I can see clearly I'm loyal to my eyes and my perception and know that that's true. Or the sky is blue, like without a doubt, it is blue, or how I perceive blue. So that being said, like when we're fully loyal to ourselves and we know our worth, we know our truths, we know our values, and we're really activating those and walking with those. Cuddly one, please leave Greg alone. That's not nice. Thank you. I allowed you to be in here, but you're acting up. There you go. Lay down. There you go. Those of you with orange cats can feel my pain right now. They're just very special. Anyways, so where was I? Oh, right. So it's again this not this this kind of abstract thing that we have to have and we possess, but more so when we really know ourselves and are very acquainted and acknowledge all the parts of ourselves, even that our shadow sides or the things that we're not crazy about, we hold those with tenderness, kind of own them. That's when we actually have confidence because we're being fully loyal to who we are and proceeding forward with that. That's why kind of like when someone's confidently speaking, it's like they know what they have to say is worth being shared. So that being said, kind of taking it a step back to the self-love concept, with self-love, it was something again that felt very like just out of arm's reach, or it felt like very superficial. And then when I was dealing with these things that were not aligned with self-love, like insecurity or fear or self-doubt, or just purely not liking myself, that's how I knew I didn't really have a grasp on self-love like I thought I did. And here I was trying to really look, kind of falling into that wellness trap of like, okay, maybe if I do this, I'll be good enough. Or maybe if I do this, or if I like have this outfit, or I look this way, whatever the case may be. These stories that I tell myself, it's like that's continuing on that chasing, that seeking, when I really just need to kind of look within and find what is already there, and to really allow myself to just be and practice that contentment. So, that being said, I wanted to share this with you all today to kind of explore your own concept of what self love is. And sometimes those things that are challenging, or maybe when they're triggered, they become even more challenging to deal with. Those are really where self love is needed. That's really where that loyalty to ourself is needed, is to really have courage. Because ultimately courage is a self-love kind of mentality, because we're taking our power back and walking forward with our power, and not allowing those things or people or circumstances to have power over us, to keep us from doing what it is we need to do, or what it is that we want to do. So that being said, I hope that you all can explore and kind of take that inventory of yourself to see maybe where you can actually apply more self love, and maybe even stretch that definition of what that looks like or means to you. Like for myself, self love is kind of becoming almost like a discipline thing, where it's not just like doing the nice things for myself, but sometimes doing the hard stuff that I maybe don't want to do, like confronting fear over certain things, or confronting stuff that's been weighing on me. Ultimately, that is self love, because I'm saying, hey, I deserve to feel better, and I deserve to have power over my life, and not let these things or people take that away from me. So, really honing in on my recovery process and really practicing those principles that allow me to be my best self and not be stuck in a cyclical survival mode pattern, I'm actually really moving more into this space of living and being and experiencing that peace and contentment. And I certainly wish that for you as well. So if you have any questions or any feedback, or would like to discuss this more, please let me know. I'm always happy to hear from you. And thank you again for all the feedback so far. And I hope you take this a lot to nourish you. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.